Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 5. I am going to go through these chapters with you for this week, and let's go ahead and get started. So this chapter chapter 9 talks about defining communities, and it talks about how communities can be defined by geographical location or by common interest. So if you think about some of the communities that you're in, right? Obviously, there's going to be the community that you live in, but then there might also be a community that you have that has some kind of special interest, like veterans or dog moms or just any kind of community or common interest that you might have. And people can live all over with that common interest. This chapter in the textbook is going to talk about lots of different theories. Okay, so try not to get too bogged down with the theories. I would know just some kind of main key points about each of the theories. Conflict theory in particular is a really big one that we talk about in terms of groups and communities, particularly with, conflict among groups and class conflict. And all theories have their pros and cons to it and help us to see different situations differently. There are also, non-geographical communities that we talked about. There's professional communities like the National Association of Social Workers. There may be spiritual communities that you're part of. There may be communities of people of color or communities based on your sexual orientation. In chapter 10, it's going to go more into detail about power in communities and who has the power. There's a lot of information out there about citizen participation and power in youth as well, and kind of youth activism in communities. Um, I'm going to go through these fairly quickly, but these are all really important for you to know, especially for like the licensing exam. The social work roles that exist are really important again for you to kind of know. So for this one, a social worker is helping to support both a community or organization and a client who will ultimately help the community organization ultimately should help the client. So you're enabling both of them with your support. A mediator is a worker who works to kind of resolve conflict between a community organization and a client. So they're kind of mediating the conflict that's going on between the two. A coordinator. I'm a very visual person, so a lot of these figures are really great images to give you a visual of what each of these roles are. This is working to help coordinate some form of action between the community or organization and the client system. A manager. So this is within a organizational macro system. The worker is a manager over seeing, various staff. Um, an educator, again, this is a social worker playing the role of educator and providing information to the community and to the clients. Evaluator. So this is when a social worker, again, puts on the role of someone who is evaluating the effectiveness of, either a community system or a client system. A broker. So this is helping the worker is helping the organizations and community systems um, to help really helping the clients to find resources and helping the community to get resources out to the client. A facilitator. So again, within a community system, the worker is working with colleagues to facilitate some task. Initiator. So a social worker puts on the role of starting some kind of task to improve services. So they initiate the improvement of services within a community or organization that will ultimately benefit the client system. A negotiator. So this is a little different from a mediator because a negotiator, the worker is really working with the client to resolve conflict between them and a community or organization. A mobilizer. So you might think of this a lot with regard to kind of grassroots organizations or political organizations, where you have either a single person or a group of people that are mobilizing to get citizens in the community to take some form of action. So that's a mobilizer. And then an advocate. So the worker is working with a client or a system to advocate for something within the organization or the community. So these are some really important roles that I would definitely have you familiarize yourself with, and excited to see what you guys have this week. Have a great week. Thank you so much.